Okay, Grandma. Yeah, thank you again. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Alright, I love you. Bye-bye. Oh, hey kids. I was talking to my grandmother. Mr. John here. We all have people in our life that are older. And it's sometimes easy to think, well, they don't know any better because they're older and they don't know how the world works today. But that's not necessarily true. Older folks have lived through a lot in their life, and it's very easy to see things that they lived through happening again today. Older folks have a lot of wisdom. Sometimes they don't use that wisdom and they don't think straight, or sometimes they get sick and don't know how to use that wisdom. The point is, being old doesn't necessarily mean you're not useful anymore. And that can be said of things too. Like, I like old things. I like old movies and old electronics and lots of old things. For example, our story today, I'm not reading you a story today. But we do have a story, and it's Masters of the Universe, He-Man and Battlecat. And it's a book I read when I was really, really little, which is going to be funny when you guys see it, because I actually colored in the pages when I was a little kid, because this book was black and white, and I just colored it in. Now, when I was little and this book came out, it was a book made to help kids learn to read and write. The way it works is that the book will be reading... I'm getting ahead of myself. When I was little, we didn't have our phones till... We couldn't even hold our phones. The only phones we had were at our house, plugged into a wall. You couldn't walk around and take your phone with you everywhere. When we wanted to listen to music, we could either listen to the radio, and if we listened to the radio, we didn't get to pick what we listened to, or we could listen to what we had on a record player or on a cassette player, like this one. So the He-Man book we're going to listen to today is going to be read on one of these. This is a cassette tape. I don't know if you've seen what a record looks like, but it's a big round disc and you would need a special machine to play it. Same with this. This is a cassette tape. You put it in and you press the button and it will play the story for us. And that's how we're going to listen to this book today. So let's go ahead and do that.
This is your Masters of the Universe read-along book. Every time you hear this sound, it means it's time to turn the page in your storybook. Now we are ready to begin our adventure. Open your book and we will start the story of He-Man and Battlecat. And remember, when you hear the sound, turn the page. It was a bright, sunlit day on the planet Eternia. Prince Adam, son of King Randor and Queen Marlena, was playing beneath the towering trees of the evergreen forest. The young prince loved to frolic in the deep and mysterious woods that surrounded his castle home. His pet tiger, Cringer, ran along at his side. Suddenly, the sky overhead darkened as a huge black shadow moved swiftly across the forest floor. Prince Adam looked up and saw the shape of a huge falcon soaring through the blue sky. The gigantic bird swept down and landed in a forest clearing nearby. Prince Adam was not frightened. He recognized this fantastic bird and the person who was riding on its wide, feathered back. It was Prince Adam's teacher and friend, Man-at-Arms. Ever since he was a child, Prince Adam had been taught the ways of survival on the planet from Man-at-Arms. The strong young prince could tell that something was wrong as Man-at-Arms rushed toward him through the thick underbrush. "You must come with me at once, sire," shouted Man-at-Arms in a voice that echoed through the forest. "What is wrong?" asked Prince Adam. "The evil one, Skeletor, has found the path which will lead him to Castle Grayskull. If the wicked Skeletor gains entrance to the castle, he could gain the wisdom of the Council of Elders. Then, all would surely be lost." "I am ready to fight," shouted the brave young prince. Adam took from his side the Sword of Power and raised it high over his head. In a strong voice, he shouted to the heavens, "By the power of Castle Grayskull!" In an instant, the forest was flooded with a flash of brilliant white light as an earth-shaking thrust of pure energy poured down on the young prince. As the blinding light faded, Man-at-Arms could see that Prince Adam had been transformed. He was now He-Man, the champion of Eternia. He was taller than the prince, and his rippling muscles glistened in the sunlight. By his side, where before his pet Cringer had played, stood Battlecat. His color had changed to green with yellow stripes. He bore a saddle and helmet. The gigantic, muscular cat snarled as if ready for battle. "Come, my friend," shouted He-Man. "You must take me to Castle Grayskull. Skeletor must be stopped at once." He-Man leaped onto the back of the colossal feline, and together they bounded off through the forest. Meanwhile, in the thick woods near Castle Grayskull, Skeletor and his animal companion Panther stalked onward towards the rocky and foreboding castle. His foul voice hissed out from his bony face. "We are almost there. Soon we will be inside the Castle Grayskull and gain the power that the castle shelters. Then nothing will be able to stop me from ruling all of this planet. Nothing. Not even He-Man." In an instant, out from behind a cliff, He-Man and Battlecat bounded into action. When Skeletor and Panther saw their foe, they recoiled in a moment of fear. "As long as I live, you will never enter Castle Grayskull," shouted He-Man. Battlecat reared up on his hind legs and hissed menacingly. He-Man drew his sword as the two arch-enemies raced towards each other for battle. Although Skeletor was powerful, he was no match for He-Man. The power of He-Man was the force of good, and in the universe, good will always triumph over evil. In a split second, a flashing bolt of energy raced forth from the Sword of Power and struck Skeletor, knocking him off Panther and into the tall grass. He leaped back on the gigantic cat, and they ran away back into the woods for safety. For now, the evil Skeletor had been stopped. Later that day, as the long shadows fell across the forest floor, He-Man neared home. Before he could be seen, he transformed Battlecat and himself back into their original form: Prince Adam and Cringer. No one in his home must learn his true identity. Only Man-at-Arms shared his amazing secret. with this fantastic power, He-Man could continue to fight the forces of evil and darkness. He and his friends were truly masters of the universe.
So that was He-Man and Battlecat. I hope it made sense how the story was being told to you, and I hope it helps you to learn to read a little bit. You can play this video over and over and over again, and see if you like it for yourself. Now, next time we're going to do something similar, but that might be a little tougher to understand. But I'm not going to give anything away. Maybe you would understand when you see what the book is. If you're younger, you probably won't, but your parents might. But I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you remember to try to treat old things and older people with respect, because we all deserve respect. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.